in the ACC. Expect a big number out of her as well, the only player in double figures for Wake Forest.
She'll look to be getting her team off to a good start. The Demon Deacons have never beaten the Cardinals. This their 10th meeting all time.
A little trickery already by Jeff Walls.
See if it pays off as the Cardinals do indeed get the tip, all in red. Haley Van Lith with the basketball, looking inside. Strong move, but no foul call. Ball out of bounds, goes to Wake Forest. Liz Dixon taking that first shot for the Cardinals.
I think that play sets the tone for special teams being really important in this game, meaning special situations. Both these teams have struggled at stretches to score. So when the ball is dead and you inbound it, it gives you a chance to run exactly the set you want. Louisville picking up in full court pressure here, going to make Wake Forest make decisions 94 feet.
Spear with the basketball as you see the starting five for the Demon Deacons. A lot of minutes played by those starters. A lot of familiar faces on this Wake Forest team. They may have a new coach this year in Megan Jebbia, but all the players returning from last year's team. 6 to shoot now for the Demon Deacons. Won't get a shot off, it's taken away. Van Lith looking ahead.
Part of the full court pressure is to take you deeper into the shot clock.
Some new faces for the Louisville Cardinals this season. After that Final Four run a year ago, lost 3 starters, had some transfers coming in, joining Van Lith and Olivia Cochran, the 2 returners in that starting 5. Liz Dixon came off the bench last year, and then CC Carr, transfer from Syracuse, and Morgan Jones, transfer from Florida State, rounding out that starting 5 for the Cards.
I like the full court pressure by Jeff Wall's team to start the game. Wake Forest is a -1 in the turnover category. And what you're doing is forcing them to go deeper and later into their options offensively, besides trying to turn them over.
Both teams still looking for the first points in this one. Olivia Samiel passes it off. Low shot clock once again. Jewel to take the shot. Yep, she makes it.
A huge confidence boost. And for Louisville, the whole scouting report today was based on defending Jewel Spear.
Easier said than done, I would say, Debbie.
Hard hedge, tag from the strong side. Once again, Louisville trying to establish play in the paint. That's part of the reason why Josie Williams is in and Liz Dixon is out. She had 2 opportunities and she didn't score. Josie Williams is capable inside.
Williams, grad transfer from Utah Valley. That's an over and back. Cards will take over. Always active on the sideline is Jeff Walls in his 15th season in charge. Winningest coach all time, has completely revolutionized really what Louisville women's basketball looks like. You mentioned it right off the bat, Debbie. 4 Final Fours that he has taken this program to, including last season.
I think everyone wondered when Dana Evans, a 2-time ACC Player of the Year, was gone, and she was a great player for Louisville. Would they be good enough? And they proved last year going to the Final Four. Now, they did lose to South Carolina, and they played them tough. But he also went into the transfer portal, and he was able to pick up Morgan Jones and Kristlyn Carr and Josie Williams. All players that have helped this season.
Elise Williams, she's been in double figures the last 7 for the Demon Deacons. Good look inside. Jones driving to the basket. She is fouled.
I think one of the stats to keep your eye on in this game is points in the paint. I think it's going to be really important for Louisville. And you see early they're trying to attack inside.
Had a nice conversation with Coach Jebbia. Hopefully she's feeling better. Said it's been a rough couple of weeks for her. Team's been on the road the last 3. And she hasn't been feeling too well. She was carrying around a box of tissues, but hopefully she and her team Feeling a little more pep as they step onto their home floor.
John Curry, the athletic director here at Wake Forest, I think made an excellent choice in Megan. And she'd been a head coach at American. She'd twice been coach of the year in that league. And she's brought a 5-out motion, a system that she says it's like having 14 freshmen on the floor. They're trying to learn what she wants them to do, and they are getting better. Their results may not show in the win column, but I do see that they are getting a better on the offensive end and better connected on the defensive end as well.
And she made a point to tell us, too, still engaged, still really locked into her and what she's trying to ask them to do. Louisville out of bounds. It'll stay under the basket for Wake Forest.
I mean, simple concepts like run the floor hard, cut hard, move the ball, and don't turn down an open shot if your name is Jewel Spear.
6 to shoot now. Will Spear be the one to take the shot? No, she passes it off, and Harrison was out of bounds. Third straight turnover by the Demon Deacons.
So their one basket is Jewel on a step-aside triple, and they've got to execute better. Oh, that is a risky play, but a beautiful play by Kristlyn Carr.
I mean, you know about her three-point shooting, but you give her that lane, she'll step inside and knock it down. 7-0 run by Louisville.
I mean, that's a play where you split the double behind your back and it looks great, but if you don't, you're going to be sitting on the bench because that is very risky.
Just the one field goal so far. It's another turnover. Morgan Jones leading the break. Louisville looking to get off to a strong start after a really abysmal fourth quarter in their last game against NC State. What a matchup that was, but the Cardinals just 1 for 16 in that fourth quarter. The worst quarter that they've had under Jeff Walls ever.
No question. I mean, that's 2 years in a row in the fourth quarter. NC State has had some magic and played really well on the road. That was a huge win for NC State and for Wes Moore. And you know, everybody in this league knows that Louisville's a tough out. You know, you got to play them tough. You got to take care of the ball. You can't give up transition opportunities.
Morgan Jones, 6 points so far. Part of this 9-0 run over the last couple of minutes for Louisville.
A different full court press this time, not the man-to-man, but more of a zone press. Results in a turnover.
Boy, the turnover is just not helping the Demon Deacons cause at all. And then another foul, and Morgan Jones just continuing to run the floor and take advantage.
I do not like that call. Okay, Tamira Hines has been suspect of foul trouble all year, and she's done a very good job of managing it. But that's after the play. You probably let that one go with a more patient whistle.
The two Sissoko Stevens, John Cavallino, Linda Miles are referees tonight, and picking up fouls so far for Wake Forest, Sumiel, Spear, and Hines all with one.
Hines averages more rebounds than points, so they need her on the boards to stay with Louisville. She's got to stay foul-free. Another defensive look by Louisville, this time a zone.
Scruggs in off the bench, makes good. Second made field goal, both of them threes for the Demon Deacons.
Wake Forest only makes 6.5 threes a game.
There is Hines pulling down the rebound. Spear had the assist to Scruggs on that last play, but there's going to be a foul against the Demon Deacons here.
Another one on Hines, her second, with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. She's coming out because that's tough. Those are two really tough fouls. You want Tamira Hines to get fouls going for rebounds or trying to hold her ground in the post. You don't want her chasing down a layup that's absolutely going to score and then getting a foul on a moving screen.
The junior out of Douglasville, Georgia, nearly had a double-double in Wake's last game, a loss at 12th ranked Virginia Tech on Sunday. 9 points, 10 boards in that one. Naya Becker comes on to replace her with those 2 personal fouls. But the Deacs right now with as many points as turnovers. That's been their story thus far.
Wake right now hedging on those ball screens in the middle third.
Koss Robinson in the game, handed it back off to Carr. That's a friendly bounce on the road.
When you are the ACC's best three-point shooter by percentage, sometimes you get a roll or a bounce.
53%. That's
really good.
Carr's percentage in ACC play from outside the arc. Good points in the paint for Wake Forest and Becker.
Great backdoor cut by Wake.
6-point Louisville lead. Carr. She got off to a really strong start in that game against NC State, but then just did not get as many looks as that one went on.
Louisville's D cranking it up, generating all kinds of uncomfortable plays for Wake Forest. Louisville with an early lead.
For a ranking by Louisville right now, as good as they have been under Jeff Walz. We talked about what he has done revolutionizing this program. Just look at those last 3 in particular in the NCAA tournament. 0s on the left, a lot of numbers on the right, including those 4 Final Fours under his watch.
2 title games. Played for the title twice.
Cardinals with a 6-point lead. Van Lith, no points in the game yet, but Morgan Jones sure off to a great start.
Really good penetration by Haley Van Lith and making a play for Morgan Jones.
9 points in the game now for Jones, outscoring Wake Forest on her own. Wake Forest looking to get it going on the offensive end. Takes care of the basketball. Spear on the inside. Off the glass is good.
Really nice work by Wake Forest. Good patience. When they don't turn the ball over, they've gotten a good shot.
Well, 11 of Louisville's 16 points in the game, Debbie, have come off of turnovers, so taking advantage of what they've been given. Van Lith, leading scorer in conference play, 21.4 points per game, travels there. No points yet in this one.
You know, the one thing about Haley Van Lith is she's not going to lose her confidence. This is a nice drop-down pass in the dunker spot, using the other side of the rim to score. Haley made a play for Morgan Jones the last time. She traveled going left. She usually doesn't travel going to her left. She doesn't travel most of the time, but she doesn't travel going to her left.
Pull-up shot is good, and the threes continue to fall. This time it's Elise Williams.
Boy, she's played well for Wake Forest. What's that, 7 consecutive with double figures for Elise?
Now, despite the turnover issues early, it's a 3-point game. Deacs have made each of their last 4.
Well, I think Olivia Cochran has got to get involved here. She's got 1 assist, no rebounds, no field goal attempts. I think she can be a tough check, but she's playing the 4 spot right now on the floor.
It's number 44 in red, the 6'3" junior. Van Lith battling for the rebound. Looking inside for Dixon, who's back in the game. Robinson bails her out.
There's Cochran right there.
Scruggs doing a good job defensively.
And she cut her off so she couldn't keep driving. What she needed was 1 more dribble to the rim.
Spear picked up her dribble and a little bit of trouble. Becker with the drive. And it is out of bounds, Louisville ball. Actually, that was a foul on Scruggs, the call, her first, giving Louisville the basketball. That's a 15th foul against the Demon Deacons, so the Cardinals will be on the free throw line. Give Olivia Cochran a chance to pick up some points from the line, coming off a game where she had no points for the first time in her career.
Yeah, I'm waiting for her to have a big game. She's overdue.
Well, Saturdays are for college basketball on ACCN and the ESPN app. This Saturday, we have a quadruple header. Starts at 1 with NC State Wake, then it is Duke and Georgia Tech. After that, how about the first place, 24th ranked Clemson Tigers taking on Florida State. This is men's hoops. And Syracuse and Virginia Tech capping the day. Should be a great afternoon and evening of hoops on ACCN.
I'll be down in Tallahassee for that Clemson game. I'm really looking forward to it. Brad Brownell and staff have had a fantastic year so far. Top of the ACC on the men's side.
Now Tigers 9-1 in conference play.
Nice curl.
The drive, Harrison bravely taking it to the rack, and she is fouled.
Really good work off the ball. Good cut, good activity. Yeah, Louisville, in spite of turning Wake Forest over 7 times, you know, they have scored 13 of their 18 off turnovers. So they got to keep bringing that pressure and look for Wake Forest. A ball fake, backdoor, the pressure package, right? Dribble entries, high post entries, backdoor cuts.
You guys could see me. Professor Antonelli is looking at me right now, making sure that I knew that answer before she said it. I know at least some of it.
You know the answer.
I know about the pressure package. One free throw good there from Kaya Harrison. 4-point Louisville advantage as the final seconds in our first quarter tick down here at Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Winston-Salem. Van Lith.
They've done a good job on her so far, and they have kept her in check. Megan Jebbia told us today it's everyone's responsibility to know where Haley Van Lith is on the floor. I think you got to guard her with 1.5, which means you guard yours and half of your attention's on Haley Van Lith.
This Wake Forest team has put up some good defensive numbers this season under Jebbia. Now they're looking for some offense. Spear can't provide it. And Van Lith will launch from half court. Nothing doing, and 18-14 will be our score after the first 10 minutes. Louisville on top.
Your overhead strap ice jam switch. 7 different ways you can guard a ball screen or a variation of such. Jules Spear has an answer for all of it. And you have to drill it repetitively. She reads the second and the third level. She's not worried about her primary defender because she knows that she can beat that person off the bounce.
Jewel, 5 points in the game. She's 2 for 5 in this one. 6 to shoot to start the second quarter for the Demon Deacons. Kaya Harrison with the ball. That shot was affected. But Jewel's numbers have gone down in conference play, averaging just under 12 points per game. She's over 15 for the season.
Well, she's the #1 target on the top of everybody's scout. Good reject of the screen by Haley Van Lith.
What did you say when we talked with Coach Jebbia and she said everybody needs to be looking and helping to defend Van Lith? Well, a little late that time to help out.
You got to jump to the ball. You got to know where the ball is. And most importantly, you guard the ball, not just the action.
First points in the game for HVL, who averages over 20 on the season. She leads the league in conference play.
Now she's got Mikasa Robinson on her, who's one of the best defenders, not just in the ACC, but in the country.
Robinson, the all-time leader in games played, and most of those in her career coming off the bench for the Cardinals.
Really good D. Inside by Wake, building a wall.
Dixon's had a difficult time getting in a groove in this game so far.
Really tough start.
She'll head back to the bench. Josie Williams, a 6'5" grad transfer from Utah Valley, back on the floor for the Cardinals.
Good trap. Good coverage. That's a 5-second call. Now that might be the kind of emotional play that stimulates the Louisville offense.
You said when I asked you why you didn't count this team out despite some rocky moments throughout this season so far, you started with their defense.
I just think their D is elite level, and they understand what it takes to be able to advance in postseason. You know, Louisville is one of a couple of teams, Tennessee and Texas the others, that started the season in the top 10 and have yet to fell out of the poll and have struggled to get back in. Now Texas got back in this week. This is what I'm talking about, Jen, right here, getting back on track. So you start the season 5-4, playing some really tough competition. You fall out of the poll, but you've won 10 of your last 13. For Tennessee, same thing. They've won 12 of their last 14, 9 in a row. Texas back in the poll after starting 3-4. These are all incredible brands. You can't count them out. That's why another reason why I'm not counting Louisville out.
And we're just right at that midway point in the conference season. So we'll see what the second half brings. Duke at the moment on top in the ACC, but they just had their first conference loss to their rivals, North Carolina.
Good pass.
Open look from the corner won't fall. Demon Deacon basketball. So Robinson getting whistled for the foul, her first. Williams. Robinson ready to run, so too is Jones, and maybe just lifted her eyes for a moment. But there was a foul call. The crowd wanting a double dribble, but there's a reach called instead.
What a rebound and push up the floor. This is one of the things Mikasa Robinson does that won't show up in the stat sheet. Did they call a foul?
They did.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that look was pretty clear for us anyway. You could see good hands to the ball for Williams.
They must be reviewing. Oh, a coach initiated a view by review. So the coach can ask to have a play reviewed, and the officials would go to the monitor to discuss it, and if you win the review, you win. If you miss, you lose a timeout.
Well, take a really close look here. Now there is a little contact.
There's a little
hand on the back.
Maybe. This is going to be interesting, right? Because we don't usually get this. It's like throwing out the flag, you know, saying, hey, take a look.
The previous play is under review for a potential intentional foul.
We will let you know what the decision is. Quick break here. It was over, and what the officials were looking for at Jeff Walls' request was whether this should be upgraded. It was called a foul. He wanted to know if it should be upgraded to an intentional foul. The result was no. Call on the floor stood, but this is the play in question, so Louisville will lose a timeout after that challenge.
I'm not sure what Jeff saw there or who instructed him, because I'm sure somebody encouraged him to probably take a look at that. Maybe You know, usually the officials do look at something they think might be an issue before you want to call it, make a coach use a timeout.
Tough defense by the Cardinals. Stone cold block in the paint. Not letting Spear get loose, and Cardinals up 8, tying their largest lead of the game so far. Somehow that does get inside to Williams. Make it 10.
And remember, two-time all-WAC performer at Utah Valley. 17 and 12 last year for Josie Williams. She can score in the paint.
She's got 4. It's a 6-0 Louisville run. Good look inside, and the Demon Deacons get a much-needed 2 from Sumio. Cochran doesn't take an outside shot too often.
Well, she's only made 1 3 all season.
Only taken 5 now, including that one.
Well, Louisville really guarding the first action for Wake Forest.
7 on the shot clock. Williams, crowd trying to help make her aware of it. Sumio had the hot hand, but well defended. Shot clock violation. Shot did not hit the rim.
So a couple of shot clock violations, a 5-second count. Wake really struggling to get into rhythm offensively. You got to give Louisville's defense some credit for that.
Now the Demon Deacons done a better job. They had that string of turnovers in the first quarter, but the Louisville defense has caused a few more, and that's a turnover, another one by Van Lith. It's the 6th against the Cardinals.
Oh, Robinson with a steal.
Showing off that defense, and how about the assist?
15 points off 10 turnovers.
And Morgan Jones, who averages 10.8, has 11. Leading all scorers so far. Becker had the pass inside. Marissa Russell brought it up the floor for Louisville. Van Lith. Off. You wondered if that was going to be called. It was a lot of body contact. Morgan Jones just continuing to run next to Elise Williams. It will be called against Jones, her first.
You wonder where offense is coming from when Jewel Spear is on the bench. He's the only player that averages in double figures for Wake Forest. Hines back in with those 2 fouls.
Scruggs in as well, wasting no time going to the basket. She's fouled.
I think Scruggs is tough to guard on a clear out because she's so strong off the bounce.
Scruggs, a senior on this Wake Forest team. Playing some big moments off the bench. Want to tell you about our women's college basketball quadruple header on Sunday. Louisville headed to Syracuse at noon, and then number 16 Duke taking on number 24 Florida State. That should be a good one down in Tallahassee, where they are honoring former head coach Sue Semrau, her 25 years there. North Carolina, Clemson at 4, Virginia Tech, Virginia. That's your day of ACC Women's Hoops on ACCN on Sunday.
There's also another game, a little game in the Triangle, and Raleigh. It's Notre Dame and NC State at 3 o'clock on Sunday. That'll be on ESPN.
Yeah,
That's a big one.
that is a big one indeed. NC State starting to pick things up a little bit more their last few games.
I think because they're starting to get healthy. Jada Boyd is healthy. They've had a week. They will have had a week between the Louisville and the Notre Dame games. Diamond Johnson's getting healthy.
And Notre Dame, they've got a big game tonight, hosting Florida State, and the Irish are going to have to go without Dara Mabry, their sharpshooter, the rest of the season. As she announced, she tore her ACL. So how will that affect the Irish? We'll see.
Well, Haley Van Lith is really struggling a little bit. You know, trying to get some space. She's on the top of the scout. I think this is a good sub right here. Jeff Walls can give her a chance to settle down a little bit because she definitely looks visibly frustrated.
Yeah, she is coming off that season low in the last game against NC State. 11 points. She was 4 for 20 in that game. 0 for 3 from 3.
Oh, good back door. What a cut. Great setup by Wake Forest, and there's a part of that pressure package I'm talking about. Louisville ramps up, plays up the line, very aggressive. They close the space. This is just a great feed right here. Reject the screen, go back door. No help from the weak side. Great finish with contact.
8 points in the game now for Jewel Spear, and that was the second personal on Mikasa Robinson for Louisville.
Yeah, but I think Jeff Walls can trust Mikasa. With as many games as she's played in a Cardinal uniform.
Be 147 tonight.
147.
It's a lot of games.
It's a nice little COVID year, right? Added on to what is going to be a great legacy when she graduates. I know she's a fan favorite in Louisville.
Speaking of fan favorite, fear the spear is what they like to say here in Winston-Salem. Jewel starting to heat up. Demon Deacons closing the gap, down 5.
High hands on the catch. Elise Williams doing a great job. Taking away vision for the ACC's best three-point shooter by percentage, Kristlyn Carr.
Pull up from Russell is good.
Yeah, Russell has improved. She has gotten better. She's providing quality minutes off the bench. She's got great size.
6-foot junior from Ottawa, Ontario, has seen time with the Canadian national team. Bats that one out of bounds.
Wake Forest using Demira Hines to help relieve pressure. Got a few seconds to get it over.
Spear well aware of that. You could see her hustle to pick it up as the ball was rolling.
I think that was a double dribble.
I think you were right. Ooh. Referees, they saw it too, and so Spear called for the travel.
I don't think they did see it. They called it for travel, but I think she double dribbled.
Same result. Turnover it is. Van Lith on the bench at the moment for the Cardinals. Just 4 points in the game for one of the ACC's top scorers. Hines making her presence felt on the defensive end on the inside.
Hines working to stay off the contact because Josie Williams really trying to bury Hines in the paint. You got to get off that contact as a defender.
To shoot. Morgan Jones got rid of it at the last minute. Robinson, yes. Lead back to 9 for Louisville. Team that was ranked in the AP Top 25 for 98 straight weeks before dropping out in early December. Trying to make their way back in, join 6 other ACC teams ranked at the moment. Cardinals shooting at 59% for the game, and Robinson has another.
Is that back-to-back buckets?
I think it is.
You know, she was a really good scorer in high school, but she has really adapted her role to being a defender and trying to take teams out. Jewel Spears gonna, with about 2-second differential, try to take the last shot here for Wake. It's interesting, you know, we just talked about ball screen offense. Let's see if she wants a screen in this situation. She does not. Oh, she comes off the second screen and gets fouled.
Not a bad result to send Jewel Spear to the free throw line. One of the top free throw shooters in the conference. She's hitting at 87% for the season from the line, 95% in conference play.
I mean, she doesn't get the ball screen brought to her. She goes to the elbow screen. And you take a look at her numbers the last 5. 27-point performance against Virginia Tech on Sunday, and just 28 total in the previous 4 games.
So when you have a breakout game like that, of course, what you want is to see if that good mojo will continue, and Spear off to a good start here, already in double digits, 11 points in the game. She scored the last 6 for Wake Forest.
And you've heard me say this before. I mean, there's not enough time in college basketball. You don't play enough games to lose your confidence. If you're technically shooting it correctly and you're taking shots at game speed in practice, and the shots that you're going to take in a game, you can't lose your confidence. If you're doing those things, there's not enough time.
3 free throws coming here as Spear was fouled on the 3-point attempt. And the Deeks haven't been to the line much. They're 3 of 4 for the game, including that one.
So Jeff Wells is going to get Haley Van Lith back in for an offensive possession.
Two for 3 from the line for Spear. Van Lith won't have a chance to get back in. Robinson spins, loses it. Harrison! At half, it is a 9-point advantage for the Louisville Cardinals. Low-scoring affair, but the Wake Forest Demon Deacons hanging around. Well, to get you all caught up on what's going on in the ACC tonight, our studio crew has you covered. We'll face off turnovers for the Cardinals in the first 20 minutes. Off we go with quarter number 3. Louisville currently tied for 4th coming into tonight in the ACC. They're 6-3 in conference play. Wake Forest 2-7. They've lost their last 3, but all of those on the road. They won their last game here at home against Georgia Tech.
Good defense closing that space on Cochran.
Carr gets it over to Dixon, who struggled to find a rhythm in the first half. Those are her first points.
I mean, it can't get worse for Liz Dixon in the first half, right? I mean, it's great that she ran or scored the first play. I think they like to script getting her the basketball for the first possession of each half.
She had no points, 2 turnovers, Dixon, in the first half. She's now 11 points away from 1,000 in her career. But not one to often take very many shots. Strong drive, Samuel. Spear tracks down the rebound and is fouled.
Well, every 50-50 ball needs to go Wake's way. They've got to continue to keep that kind of hustle up on the glass.
That's the 3rd personal on Morgan Jones. So that's something to keep an eye on for Louisville. She'll head immediately to the bench. Mikasa Robinson taking her place. Robinson has 2 fouls that she's playing with.
Wake Forest stayed with Louisville on the glass in the first half. That'll be a key here in the second.
Speaking of, Al Hines had the rebound, had a good look at the putback.
I mean, she's their best offensive rebounder. She knows how to carve out space on the weak side. Cochran needs to keep posting because Hines does have 2 fouls.
Dixon taking the first 2 shots of the quarter for Louisville. Here's Spear trying to help Wake Forest to its first ever win against the Cardinals. That'll help as well. Williams.
She's been terrific, right? She has really played well inside this system for Megan Jebbia.
6 points in the game now for Williams. Trying to keep that double-figure streak alive in the last 7 as Cochran hits.
I've got Haley Van Lith with 5 assists. She can get to the paint, makes a play on balance. Cochran with a jumper, and that's her shot.
Van Lith is the assist leader on the season for the Cardinals. Clear lane to the basket.
That's 3 opportunities to start the half. Wake has had 2 feet in the paint and have not scored. You got to finish plays.
I think the Deeks be happy to get looks like that. Good dish from Carr. Largest lead of the game for Louisville.
They go a little fake dribble handoff to Haley Van Lith a couple of times, and you know the defense is going to jump. She's a great decoy for that set.
Dixon with 4 early points in the quarter. A lot of defensive pressure. Spear hangs on. Van Lith now defending.
Where Louisville really bringing the heat right now. I'm sure Jeff Walls revved up their engine at halftime.
That's the 3rd personal on Robinson on that play. You mentioned earlier that Jeff Walls trusts her. Now she's got 3, Morgan Jones has 3, and Norika Kono is into the game for Louisville. Robinson still on the floor. Well, we've seen some amazing fans across the ACC, and now we need your help. This winter, ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic, take a video, use the hashtag AllTheDevotion, and post it to your social. You just might see it on ACCN. Williams making good from the free throw line. She has 8 in the game now.
Well, one of the things I'm sure Coach Jebbia addressed with her team was turnovers, 13 in the first half. They've done a better job of taking care of the ball. They're getting shots, they got to finish them. There's a nice move by Haley Van Lith.
And to your point, Debbie, the start of the game, Wake had 6 turnovers in the first 5 minutes. Williams starting to heat up.
You know, when you watch Wake and you say Jewel plus who, I think Elise Williams is the plus. I think she's been terrific this season, especially in this middle part of the league play, in the middle of league play.
Started every game, sophomore out of Raleigh, North Carolina.
This is a big play right here for Wake Forest, down 7. Got a turnover.
Spear getting on the hip of Marissa Russell, and Russell commits the foul. That's her 2nd. It'll put Spear on the free throw line.
Watch Elise Williams right here. D did not respond in transition, not matched up.
So Spear just waiting at the free throw line. Russell picking up her 2nd personal on the play. $14 in the game now for Jewel. And it was the 3rd quarter of the last game at Virginia Tech. She really went off at 18 of her 27 points in that quarter. 5 points, the deficit now, and Wake Forest starting to pick up a little momentum on their home floor.
Back-to-back turnovers for Louisville. A 2-possession game. That's where Megan Jebbia wants to keep this thing within striking distance.
Cardinals were up by as many as 12 in this quarter.
Oh, good backdoor cut. What a terrible pass.
I think Hines
That
got
was a
caught.
bad pass.
She saw them both going and didn't really put it in the hands of either. So an opportunity down by the wayside there, and Wake Forest now will have to try to play some defense. Dixon was calling for it, had position inside. Mustard on that pass to Cochran, who couldn't quite hang on.
Well, she was trying to make the move before she caught it. It's like seeing a play ahead. Haley Van Lith did a really nice job of stretching out that hedge. So you know that Wake Forest is hedging on all that ball screen action. That's a long ways to recover. That's a really good set for Louisville because you got two bigs on the same side of the floor. That's a hard check right there on that hedge.
Demon Deacons on a 7-0 run. Looking to add it. They do! The elusive 4-point play in the grasp of Jewel Spear.
Come on, Jewel Spear. We're here for the offense. This is what we want. Ticket-selling player, last year's ACC scoring leader. You go under, bang, you're going to pay. Has made this a one-possession game. She just hit a three, but look at this graphic right here. Fred VanVleet plays in the NBA. He averages almost 37 minutes a game, and he runs 2.76 miles a game. Look what Jewel does, 32 minutes a game, 3.3 miles. If you add pregame warm-up, it's more like 4.4 miles. That's how much activity she has on the floor, how much she runs in-game. They all wear a little device that measures their GPS. That's how we get that information.
I love that. Digging a little deeper into the numbers. Her 19 points have now pulled Wake Forest within 1 in this game.
Dustin Daly is the strength and conditioning coach for Wake. He gave me that number.
2 to shoot for Louisville. They do not get it off in time.
Well, it's a good change defensively by Megan Jebbia, and Wake Forest does a really good job executing defensively. Louisville's going to come back with some full court pressure. They've had the full court pressure on all game.
Williams, she and Spear have scored the last 22 points for Wake Forest.
Right now, Louisville switching on everything, 1 through 5. It's a little thing, Jen, but that pass made Crystalline Carr drop her hands, and shooters know you don't want to drop your hands. That pass had to be a little bit more in the pocket.
Speaking of the pocket, Spear pulls it out of the pocket, off the glass, and in. Wake Forest with their first lead since Spear hit that first three, and it was 3-0.
We got a game now. This is a game. Wake Forest not turning it over. Louisville's got to execute better.
I mean, every game in ACC women's hoops this year has the ability to become a game, and this one no different.
Pitt had the halftime lead over North Carolina. Pitt playing at home. They haven't won in the league yet.
You look at all the upsets we've seen, unranked teams knocking off ranked teams, teams who are quote-unquote expected to win, either not doing it or having a hard time getting there. And this Louisville team picked to win the league this year. Final five last year. Down on the road to Wake Forest.
Really showing some maturity offensively in that possession. That's a 15-0 Wake Forest run.
All right, so it's a cold spell, Debbie, for a Louisville team that had the coldest of cold quarters in their last game in the fourth quarter against NC State. You don't want that lurking in the back of your mind. They got to get it out.
Well, they got to attack. So they're settling for jump shots. They're not attacking the paint with a dribble or a penetrating pass right now. So Morgan Jones is going to come back in the game. And because Wake Forest is taking care of the basketball, Louisville hasn't been able to generate anything with their defense.
Well, Morgan Jones was the only player consistently scoring for Louisville in the first half. She had 11. She picked up that third personal really early, went right back to the bench to start this quarter. See if she makes a difference.
Mikasa Robinson with those 3 fouls on Jewel Spear. And this is how Megan Jebbia wanted to shorten the game. She told us that they would try to shorten the game somewhat inside possessions.
Spear knocks it down. 24 in the game for Jewel Spear. 18-0 the run for the Demon Deacons.
She's just got to call her own number. That would be number 24 in white with 24. What a big time triple. Jewel Spear, 4 for 6. Jewel, you go ahead and shoot till your arm falls off right now. You're on fire.
She did commit the foul. That's what has us stopped here. Louisville with the ball. It's her second personal. Spear coming up 27 in the last game, 24 tonight. Showing why she's one of the best scorers in this league. Numbers been a little bit down in conference play. Maybe that's turning for Jewel Spear. All right, your word for Louisville is attack. Let's see what the Cardinals do in this possession.
Look
inside.
There it is. Okay, and I love that Jeff Wallace did not call a timeout. Remember, he's down 1 because he challenged in the first half. And he's got a veteran group on the floor right now. And this is what I call, this is the attack right here, Jen. A penetrating pass to the paint.
Samiel committing the foul, her second. Cochran on the free throw line. Completes the 3-point play and finally cuts into that run that the Demon Deacons had been on to take the lead.
There's Stephanie Norman, the longtime associate head coach with Jeff Walls. Been there the whole time, helping him as an architect build this incredible brand in Louisville women's basketball.
That's some arm strength. Can they execute and finish? They do! Melissa Andrews, a 6-foot sophomore out of Virginia with the points. Robinson, short. When you talk about building programs, like Jeff Walls has done at Louisville, well, you start by getting signature wins. I know Louisville not ranked at the moment. Preseason pick to win the league, Final Four a year ago. Wake has never beaten Louisville. They've been in some games. They've been in some ACC games this season, trying to see if they can hang on and get the job done. Under a minute to play in the third. Five-point Wake Forest lead. Just under 45 seconds to go in our third quarter, one that has been dominated by Wake Forest, outscoring Louisville 23-9 in the quarter, and maybe that third quarter mojo is carrying over. They had a great third quarter against Virginia Tech the last game, but then couldn't finish it off in the fourth. That'll be the challenge for Wake Forest tonight, Debbie.
Well, they certainly came out of the locker room the last couple of games ready to play, right? Made an adjustment, or you could call it waking up.
You could.
In the second half.
You know, I don't have to use all the puns. You're allowed to have a few of them. Certainly Wake Forest would like to build off of that. Done a good job of it here so far. Really just forced Louisville to go quiet And that in and of itself, not an easy task. And this is a big game for Louisville too, because we've talked about all the expectations for this program, and they are still needed to pick up some wins in ACC play as they turn the corner and look at the second half of the conference schedule.
Well, they are in the top half, right? And this is an incredible battle for the top 4 seeds in the ACC tournament, which will be held in Greensboro once again in March, beginning of March.
Always looking forward to that, as it's just down the road from where we are here in Winston-Salem. And you know what gets you ready for all the ACC women's hoops action? It's Nothing But Net every Thursday, 10 Eastern. It's after our doubleheader here on ACCN. Our crew will break down the night, highlights, analysis. We'll also look ahead at what you've got coming up on the schedule, and there are some big ones coming up both later tonight and this weekend across the ACC. You can catch that on ACCN and the ESPN app, so you can watch anywhere.
Louisville only 14 baskets in that third quarter. Wake took care of the basketball in that third quarter. Just one turnover. Let's see if Louisville can impose their length and their defensive commitment in this fourth quarter, and certainly limit Jewel Spear. She's been terrific.
She wants the assist this time around, and she'll get it against Andrews. Deke shooting it well from 3. They have their largest lead of the game.
With Hines on Cochran, let's see if they can get her the basketball and let her go to work.
Robinson will take the shot, make it look easy.
Again, another fake handoff, using Hayden Van Lith as a decoy.
Spear wants a few more. Not quite on that one, but still, what a quarter for Wake Forest. Demon Deacons on a 23-6 run. They're knocking down the 3. Talk about upsets, Debbie. Look what the ACC has done against top 10 competition this season.
I mean, that's 8 teams out of 15 that have at least one win over a top 10. You can see clearly the ACC. That's the balance and that's the parity that we've been talking about all year. Louisville coming out in the zone looking to trap.
Scruggs trying to come out with a zone buster, knock it down, can't. And does Haley Van Lith need to exert herself a little bit more in this game? Just 4 points, none in the third quarter. Good dish that time, but Cochran can't finish.
Well, Mikasa Robinson almost got a steal. I think the backboard is up there for a reason. I don't know sometimes why players don't use it.
Makes it easier. Samuel back to Elise Williams, who's been such a great counterpoint. That 1-2 punch with Spear in this game.
Good ball pressure on the perimeter. Taking vision away, making a tough pass.
What was the message, you think, from Jeff Walls in that huddle, getting ready for this fourth quarter?
Get in a stance. That was one. And stop turning the ball over. Make the easy play. Make the easy pass. Nice
good pass right there.
Well, that was 5 on 4 because Robinson was late getting back. And when you push the ball in transition, you immediately create mismatches. Hines with a nice slip.
Carr. Don't want her to get hot if you're Wake Forest. The best three-point shooters in the country.
Good D, walling up. Hines not picking up another. And then the slip. Great hustle up the middle of the floor. And, you know, we were talking to Coach Jebbia today about strength up the middle. You got to have good point guard play. You got to have good post play. Your 1s and your 5s, and they're not as deep in those positions.
Now the Deeks have had some injuries there that have hurt their depth, specifically at those positions. 4 to shoot for Van Lith. Gets the shot off. It's a tough one, but she makes it.
She's capable in that mid-range. As I mentioned at the very beginning of the game, she takes less than 15% of her shots are layups, so it's a lot of mid-range.
Spear. Oh, but she is holding her leg and is still down on the floor behind the play. That is significant concern. And now there is a stoppage.
I mean,
as Spear is rolling around in the other end of the court after that drive.
it's a lower left leg.
That's what she grabbed immediately.
It looks like it could be a cramp that she's trying to work out. Don't want to speculate, but Scott Spurnoga has been a part of Wake Forest women's basketball for a very long time. He's one of the best in the league. Immediately out there to assist.
Well, Jewel Spear, 26 points in the game. Good to see that. I think there's a little smile on that face as she's trying to get herself back to her feet. It's a big smile. That is certainly a good sign. And you hope it is something like that, as painful as cramping can be. There's a drive, and then she just immediately reached down to her leg. Well, she is still not feeling right. So Spear with her 26 points off the floor at the moment. Can Louisville take advantage? No, they throw it away.
I'll tell you what, Jeff Walls is an excellent teacher, and he's as frustrated as I've seen him in a long time over there with his group's inability to execute.
Scruggs. Jones had her fingertips on it. Williams may be feeling it's her time to take over a bit with Spear on the bench. Here comes Robinson trying to pick the pocket. Scruggs. That's an offensive foul.
It's a great job by Cochran. Sees the drive, gets outside the arc, obtains legal guarding position. I mean, you could have had a cup of coffee waiting on this one.
Second personal foul on Scruggs. And you think about Haley Van Lith taking over late in games. I mean, she has been so consistently good, especially in ACC play this season. Jones hits the deck hard.
I mean, Cochran can't catch it any deeper.
It's a foul called against Wake Forest. Olivia Semiol, her third. Second team foul of the quarter for Wake Forest. Was none, and they get the points.
They run that and have won games on that set.
And that is well executed. You just said that's what's had Jeff Walls frustrated over on the sideline. Lack of execution. That pulls Louisville within 6. They led by as many as 12 in the third quarter before Wake Forest went on their run. Two to shoot. Williams saw it just in time. Van Lith, does she push? Goes back to Cochran. Travel.
Watch this play right here. This is a nice fake. Again, Haley Van Lith, a decoy in that set. She draws so much attention. Very well executed.
Well, the Demon Deacons, we talked about them winning the fourth quarter after they won the third. They're going to have to do it at the moment without Jewel Spear on the floor. She has 26 points in the game, but went down a few moments ago holding her left calf. Was receiving some treatment on the sideline. And the Deeks trying to see this one out at the moment.
It's like she's trying to get
Without
some
her.
fluids in, right? I mean, you know she's doing everything she can to get back in.
Yeah. Van Lith got a lane.
It's Haley Van Lith time right now because it's winning time. 2-possession game.
Little trap, causing some problems. And the Louisville Cardinals trying to close the gap. They're down 4 with 5 to go. Who's back? Jewel Spear back on the floor. She has really picked it up in this game as it has gone on even. 13 in the first, 13 in the second, but the Deeks, Debbie, haven't scored for the last 2 minutes and 41 seconds since she went out.
Well, I'm looking forward to listening to Pam and Brooke on the backside of this one. Hope they have a great call. Hope it's a great game. Good Virginia Tech offense, good Duke defense. Again, strong. They love that play. Cochran at the elbows. Remember the first half, I was calling for her to have a big game. She hasn't had a big number in a while. She's got 11 so far.
Yeah, after just 2 in the first half, she's really picked it up. It's a 6-0 Louisville run. 2-point game now. Scruggs. Had an open look, didn't want it, not yet.
Robinson on Spear.
5 to shoot for Spear. Good look to Hines.
See, Morgan Jones has to have a recognition there to protect inside out first. Haley Van Lith did a really good job of hedging. You just got to do a better job of staying connected.
Cardinals are going to be spending a lot of time on the road in the second half of their schedule. Having a tough time on the road here in Winston-Salem tonight.
What a game, Jen. The ebb and flow of the season and in the game. Wake Forest has never beaten Louisville.
Mikasa Robinson and company trying to keep it that way. She dishes it last second to Jones.
You work on that every day, 3-on-2. You got to score.
13 in the game for Morgan Jones. Those are her first points since the first half. And Wake Forest and Megan Jebbia want a timeout to talk things over. What a game we've got going as the Demon Deacons trying to knock off Louisville for the first time. Well, Saturdays are for college basketball on ACCN and the ESPN app. This Saturday, talking to men's hoops. It's a quadruple header starting at 1 Eastern. NC State and Wake Forest, both of those teams 6-4 in the league. Then it is Duke and Georgia Tech, followed by number 24 Clemson and Florida State. Debbie, looking forward to that one. And capping it off with Syracuse and Virginia Tech. Great day of hoops on ACCN and a great night tonight on the women's side.
Finally, the Clemson men got ranked. I don't know what took so long on the men's side. They've been leading the ACC for about 4 weeks.
Well, a lot of people were urging voters to put Florida State in. On the women's side, they just got into the AP Top 25 poll as well. They've got a big one coming up tonight at Notre Dame. Of course, we've got Virginia Tech and Duke coming up here on ACCN next. Spear.
Boy, she does a good job of creating separation. What a rebound. Hines working the glass.
Hines with 6 of her 8 points in this fourth quarter. Top basket as Morgan Jones goes spinning, and Hines, who's played with those 2 fouls for a while now.
This is a big time crash right here. She didn't indicate that, the official did not indicate she was in the restricted area. Looks like her heels are in the restricted area. That's number 3 on Hines. She's done a great job, Jen, picking up those 2 fouls in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter.
But you can see her value on the floor, on both ends of the floor. She's had some big blocks defensively. Of course, she's working the glass. She's got 7 rebounds in the game to lead the Demon Deacons.
Her defensive discipline has been terrific tonight.
Jones hits them both. Makes it a 2-point game.
And Louisville wants to make weight come back. They want to keep the pressure on. You can't get beat over the top.
Nearly get the steal. And now the Demon Deacons with some numbers. Williams too strong with her left.
That's a great job by Mikasa Robinson not to help off the strong corner.
Ball gets batted out of bounds. I believe that was Hines who got her hand to it, tried to swat it away. It'll stay with Louisville here.
You got Jewel Spear in the strong corner, and Mikasa Robinson, defensive face, and stays home on Jewel Lloyd and helps create that strong miss. That's the stuff that Mikasa Robinson does that's not on the stat sheet.
Van Lid, tough take. It's part of the reason, though, Robinson, a part of the ACC all-defensive team the last 2 years. 2 minutes to go in this one. Hines has Spear going back door. Robinson saves it, but that's a tough spot for Cochran to catch the ball, and timeout call. Louisville still has 3 timeouts remaining after that one. Wake Forest has 2. So 2-point game. That gives you a look at what each team has left. Should be 3 timeouts remaining for Louisville, at least according to stat broadcasts. But perhaps that one not taking into account, Debbie, that timeout
Right.
Jeff Walz called earlier. So it looks like it is just 2 left for Louisville. Something to be mindful of.
Now, here's the other thing. Louisville has not committed any fouls in this quarter. Okay? So they've got fouls to give. This is going to be with 1:45 left. The best free throw shooter is obviously Jewel Spear. So keep an eye on that and let's keep track of that. No fouls. Wake Forest has 3 team fouls.
Robinson with the basketball.
Wake Forest is switching.
Cochran traveled.
If you're Cochran, you got to move on to the next play now.
Van Lith going for the steal. Gets herself back.
Morgan Jones on Spear. Multiple defenders have guarded Spear tonight.
26 in the game for Jewel Spear. 6 to shoot. Gonna have to force one up now. She does, and is fouled.
Oh boy. Jeff Walz is going to take a seat in the stands. He's not even on the bench.
4th team foul on Morgan Jones, just to add insult to injury. Her 4th, she fouls the 3-point shooter.
Jeff Walz better be careful right here. The official just gave him no warning.
Jewel Spear.
This is a horrible mistake by Morgan Jones.
Spear 6 for 7, now 7 for 8 in the game. And next excellent free throw shooter, as you mentioned, one of the best in the conference, over 95% in conference play. Pretty good three-point shooter as well in her time so far in Winston-Salem.
I mean, she dribbles out the clock in a 30-second shot clock, throws up a desperation three. You can't foul.
Makes 2 out of the 3.
1 minute.
And that makes it a 2-possession game. 4-point Wake Forest lead. Under a minute to play. Van Lith. Quiet night for her. 8 points in the game. Another turnover. Deeks do take it away, and Spear just hangs on, waits for the foul.
You got a foul.
You called it, Debbie. Louisville, that is just going to be their second foul. If it's called, I think a timeout was called first. But just one team foul on Louisville in this quarter. And it was a timeout called there by Megan Gebbia in Wake Forest.
I mean, she was jumping up and down to get the officials' attention.
So does Wake Forest have what it takes to complete this game and knock off a Louisville team that they have never beaten before? You know, Debbie, they've been in close games. You think about the one they won the last time they were here at home. It was a 1-point win against Georgia Tech. But then think about their loss at Clemson, a 1-point loss, if they were in it till the end.
Well, Wake Forest had won 7 of 8 at one point in the season, and then they've lost 5 of their last 6. That one Georgia Tech win that you're talking about by a 1-point victory. You've got fouls to give here. I expect Louisville will give a foul here. Try to get a steal, get a trap, and then foul.
Nothing coming yet. Now they do foul. And remember that Morgan Jones has 4.
Same thing here.
That was the 4th on Robinson. Just the 2nd team foul.
If I'm Wake, I'm trying to enter the ball in the scoring area, underneath the free throw line.
Cochran got a hand to it, but it'll stay with Wake.
And the reason why is because you know Louisville wants to foul, so maybe you catch them in the act of shooting. .3 has to come off the clock. You got to go for the ball right here, Jen, because you might tip it, get a deflection. Trap, steal, deflection, tip.
Still one more foul to go for Louisville until they put Wake on the free throw line. That'll do it. So the next one, the Demon Deacons will be shooting.
Deny, deny, deny. That might be 5 on Morgan Jones, right?
Well, that's what I was wondering. If I was trying to wait and see who they officially, I thought it was Morgan Jones, and if it was, yeah, she's out. And so indeed it is. That's her 5th personal. She's got to come off.
Well, that foul was, I thought, was on Morgan Jones for pushing in the backcourt, but they've called it on Olivia Cochran.
Yes, that is the clarification they've just made. So Jones does get to stay on the floor. It's just 2 personals against Cochran.
She made a foul before the ball came in, so as long as you're making a play on the ball.
Let's see, but then Jones there, stuck in a bad spot. She has to commit the foul. Don't want to waste any more time. That is now her 5th, so she'll go off. Wake will be shooting. Jones, the leading scorer for Louisville tonight with 15 points.
I'm wondering if Jeff Walls had thought about putting someone else in to foul, because you knew you were going to foul every time. You just keep her in We needed her for offense.
First free throw, no good.
This is why I always say we need the 1-and-1 in the women's game. Back in the game.
Remind you about Sunday, women's college basketball quadruple header. Louisville is going to travel to Syracuse. And then it is number 16, Duke, taking on 24th ranked Florida State. Number 15, North Carolina and Clemson at 4. And then Virginia Tech, Virginia. In-state rivalry to cap the day, and should be a great afternoon of hoops on ACCN and the ESPN app. It's been a good one tonight, though they may not feel that way inside the Louisville huddle. Cardinals in danger of losing back-to-back ACC games. And remember, this is a team that already right now with 3 ACC losses has more than they had in each of the last 5 seasons, total seasons, each of those years. So Cardinals trying to avoid that, but time running out.
You don't need a 3 here. You can get a quick 2, extend the game. But if the 3's available, you take it. Kristlyn Carr obviously is their best 3-point shooter. And now Jeff Walls, did he just get a technical?
Well, he was sitting back down in the stands there again. Let's see what the call is.
Yes, he did get a technical foul.
Jewel Spear is ready and waiting at the free throw line on the other end to try to take advantage of that technical.
Well, there cannot be any greater display of frustration right there by Jeff Walls.
Spear now a point away from 30. She had 3 30-point games last year. And there you go, the 30-burger for Jewel Spear, and maybe a little more as she helps this Wake Forest team pick up what would be a historic first ever win against the Cardinals.
They're going to have fun in the studio going over these highlights.
Meanwhile, Debbie, how much concern is there? I mean, we came on the air talking about, you said don't count Louisville out. But this is 2 performances, especially as they've gotten in later in the game where things haven't gone their way.
I think rock bottom is getting close, you know, and there's only one way to go. So this is a player-led program. It always has been. The players are going to have to help Coach Walls figure it out.
32 for Jewel Spear.
Timeout to advance the ball.
And that is their final timeout. Does it have to be a 3 here?
Now it has to be a 3, yes. Because it's a 3-possession game. And you got to get a 3.
So you'd think Kristlyn Carr would be one of the top choices.
The other thing is throw a direct pass to Cochran and hope that Hines and Fowler on a layup.
Carr just 5 points in the game, none in the second half, but leads the ACC in conference play, shooting over 53% from beyond the arc.
There it is.
That's what you were looking for.
Yep. Louisville's situational offense has been their best offense when they've executed.
It's a 4th foul on Hines. He is looking to see if it's a shooting foul. It's just the 4th team foul on Wake Forest. You're going to say Cochran's in the act of shooting or not? I don't think so.
No,
the basket.
It's not in the act of shooting.
He's trying to catch it.
Cochran at the elbow has worked.
now they do. Here's Carr. It's been that kind of a night for Louisville. Louisville not quite ready to give up yet. They'll still try to play the game. But behind a season high 32 points for Jewel Spear, the Demon Deacons surely can taste this one. Deep breath and a hint of a smile as Spear continues to do her damage from the free throw line. 33 points now. She is 13 of 15 from the line tonight. So no timeouts remaining for Louisville. Can't advance the basketball. Have to do it from the baseline, the other end. Van Lithno. And now Debbie. Deeks ready to celebrate. This is a big one for Megan Gebbia's program.
You talked about signature. This is it for Wade.